How's it going everyone, Shifty here and I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. We are less than a month away from Beyond Light and I wanted to make a video detailing what I think are god rolls you may want to be on the lookout for. This week Bungie is giving us a Sandbox update preview in which they said there would be some surprises. Will scouts finally be good? Will other weapon archetypes rise to the top? We'll have to wait and see, but even if you don't see much change, we will still be getting artifact mods to deal with champions. Today I'm going to go over my top 5 choices for PvE god rolls you should farm before Beyond Light. If you want me to make a video with recommendations for PvP, let me know down in the comments. While I don't think there is one exact god roll that is perfect for every player, I hope that my roll recommendations can help you find the one that's right for you. I'm only going to mention weapons that are easily farmable, therefore excluding raid weapons. Before I go any further, if you end up enjoying the video or finding it useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Also head over to Twitter and give me a follow there, the link will be in the description down below. Alright, check out this super professional chart I made organizing the different anti-champion mods over the seasons by weapon type and highlighting my predictions for Season 12. Given we've had auto rifle and SMG mods for every season so far, I believe it's likely we will see them as an option in Season 12. Since scouts have only had an anti-champion mod in one season and it's assumed they're getting buffed, I'm sure we will see them as well. As for bows and pulse rifles, I feel there is a good chance we will see artifact mods for both given that hand cannons and sidearms have been heavily featured in the last 2 seasons. While I think it will be beneficial to have all weapon types on hand, you may want to focus on autos, SMGs, pulse rifles, scout rifles, and bows, especially if you don't have a decent weapon in any of those weapon classes. Let's get into my recommendations. I want to start with an auto rifle since it will likely be featured on the artifact once again. We don't know for sure what buffs and nerfs are coming, but provided it doesn't get nerfed too heavily, I recommend the Gnawing Hunger. There are 2 rolls that I think are great for endgame PvE. The first is actually the curated roll, which comes with Arrowhead Break, Appended Mag, Overflow, and Rampage. This roll is going to have great recoil direction due to Arrowhead Break, a slightly larger magazine from Appended Mag, but the all-star of the roll is Overflow. This will reload your weapon as well as double the amount of ammo in your magazine when picking up either special or heavy ammo. Then it has Rampage, which isn't amazing, but it will help you clear out trash mobs in a nightfall or a raid. This roll cannot be farmed via the Umbral Engram system, however it can still be farmed, but it comes from the Tier 3 Reckoning, and more specifically it comes only on the weeks which feature the likeness of Oryx boss. Not only do you need to kill the likeness of Oryx boss, but you must get a Gnawing Hunger drop, and on top of that it has to be the curated roll to get this one. Unfortunately, that is a lot of RNG, but Overflow is definitely worth it considering this is the only way to get Overflow on the Gnawing Hunger. I was using my Galran's right hand with Overflow, but that gun is getting sunset and Gnawing Hunger is not, so that's why I recommend getting the Gnawing Hunger. I have a second roll recommendation, but it doesn't seem to be very popular. However, I've had a lot of success personally with this roll in PvE and PvP. That roll has Arrowhead Break in the first column, Accurized Rounds in the second column, Auto-Loading Holster in the third column, and Kill Clip in the final column. We already know about Arrowhead Break, but Accurized Rounds boosts range. Then we have the 2 all-stars of this roll. Auto-Loading Holster, which reloads this weapon after it's stowed for a short duration. Imagine you use this to stun a barrier champion and swap to a weapon to burst damage that champion. When you swap back to the Gnawing Hunger, it's reloaded and ready to go. This is particularly useful when solo in case you have to stun the champion again. Then Kill Clip is great for those times when you get kills and manually reload. Any straight damage boost is always welcome. This roll can be farmed via the Umbral Engram system. And remember, you can always choose different perks that fit your playstyle better. The next weapon recommendation I have is a Scout Rifle. As I mentioned, I think Scouts will have an anti-champion mod in Season 12 and they may be getting buffed. An easily farmable Scout Rifle that I recommend getting is the Night Watch. I actually think that the curated roll for this weapon could be quite good in endgame activities. It has corkscrew rifling, extended mag, and like the Gnawing Hunger has Overflow, which would give you over 30 rounds in the magazine of a Scout Rifle. Then it has explosive payload, which is a great long range perk as explosive damage experiences no damage drop off. This roll drops from the night bosses in the Reckoning. If you want to farm a Night Watch via Umbral Engrams, then you can do that as well. As for recommendations from the Umbral Engram, go for Arrowhead Break in the first column, Tactical Mag or Appended Mag in the second column, Rapid Hit in the third column, and Explosive Payload in the final column. Rapid Hit will be really useful after sustained fire on a champion or boss, and Explosive Payload will help you deal a bit more damage at range. Moving on, I do want to recommend an SMG. It will likely have an anti-champion mod, but beyond that, this particular SMG is good for warmind cell builds, which are going to become a lot easier to make with the armor mod changes coming in Beyond Light. The SMG I recommend is the Ikelos SMG V1.0.2, and this can be farmed via Umbral engrams. Keep in mind these are endgame PvE role recommendations, and I wouldn't have normally included an SMG, but with a warmind cell build potential, this weapon is a great choice. As for perks, go for Chambered Compensator in the first column, Tactical Mag, Appended Mag, or Seraph Rounds in the second column, Threat Detector or Dynamic Sway Reduction in the third column, and Vorpal Weapon or Demolitionist in the final column. Chambered Compensator increases your stability, handling, and recoil direction. Both Tactical and Appended Mag increase your mag size a bit, which this weapon can benefit from in endgame content, but if the mag size doesn't bother you, go for Seraph Rounds. Vorpal will help against champions or other tough enemies. Demolitionist would be useful for grenade-focused PvE builds such as one that uses overload grenades. Given that 110 RPM hand cannons are likely getting a buff, I have to include a recommendation here even though they likely won't have an anti-champion mod. I recommend getting your hands on a True Prophecy. This one can't directly be farmed, so it will be harder to get the right perk combinations, but just be on the lookout for one that may have a few or even one of these perks. Go for Fast Draw HCS in the first column, Tactical or Appended Mag in the second column, Overflow in the third column, and Demolitionist or Explosive Payload in the final column. There's nothing too crazy here. The second column choice depends on if you want range or faster reload. I've already touted the benefits of Overflow for PvE, so no explanation there, and the same goes for Explosive Payload. The final weapon I want to recommend is a heavy weapon, and it is amazing, and you probably already have one. It's the Falling Guillotine. I never thought swords would be viable in PvE endgame, but here we are and I have a perfect role for you. In the first column, go for Jagged Edge. In the second column, Swordmaster's Guard. In the third column, Relentless Strike. And in the final column, I prefer Whirlwind Blade, but Surrounded can work well too, or you could go for both. This role is really great all around for clearing out a bunch of enemies or doing a ton of damage to a boss. Well, that's it for my recommendations. I hope that you found the video enjoyable or useful, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, remember to follow me on Twitter. I just want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.